Hi, everybody. Welcome back to El Coto podcast. My name is Tanya, and this is my brother, Mikey. Hello, Mikey. How are you?
Still a little crudo from last night, but we're
We
doing
all
all
know
right.
you ain't drinking it. You don't go out.
We went out last night,
Oh, yeah,
but
you
no,
really
no.
did. I saw
But
it
but
on the
we went to
Snapchat.
like a kids party. You know what
That is,
I mean?
in the Mexican culture,
No,
that means a
is it.
party,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
Welcome back to our second episode. We're so excited to be here. I wanted to go over our name, El Coto Podcast. In Spanish, there's this word cotorreo, which means like a kiki, like a get together. Friends come together to just have fun, talk. And that's exactly what we want to do in this podcast. Just come together, have a good time, a good conversation, and bring our friends in. Today, we have a very special guest. I known her literally since the first day of middle school. And we've still been, we're still friends, right? Are we still friends?
You like to think?
Yadira! Boo, 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 boo,
I got the plug right here.
boo. Yes! Clap for her, clap for her. Yadira, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Straight out of the boat. She
Yes,
just got here from
I-
Mexico.
Just got
Yes.
here from Mexico City yesterday.
Oh, Yadira, one thing about Yadira, she loves to go to Mexico.
Yes.
She's gonna travel. That's a
Oh, yeah,
that's a fact.
Yadira
Like,
will travel.
Yes.
Yes. Me and Yadira have been friends literally since the first day of middle school. I feel like when we first met, we were so different. Because she was like very like, I'm a fresa, I don't be doing nothing. And here I am like a little ponqueta, like, I'm listening to banda. But then whenever we saw each other and then we realized that we were both from Mexico City, we're like, okay, we gotta be friends. And this friendship has been on for ever since.
Over 10 years.
No, it's even more than 10
maybe
years.
maybe like 15.
It's
let's not
closer
say
to 20, to be honest.
let's not say 30, because
When did you start in middle school?
8th grade.
No, but like what
I was like
year?
Maybe it was like 11,
Early
like
2000s.
12, 13.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, no.
Like 20 years.
Maybe.
This could
yeah.
be
Yeah.
our anniversary.
It's a 20-year anniversary podcast.
Yes. And of course, you know, her being my little bestie, she met Mikey.
And
a
he
dog-
was a little boy when I met him.
a little baby boy.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've been knowing each other for a long time.
Yeah, I think you're like our longest relationship.
Probably.
I was taller than
Then
Yeah,
mine,
yeah.
yeah. And look at him now. A father, a husband, a business owner, a
Look
podcaster.
at that. I'll do it all.
Yes, times have changed, honey. All right, Yadira, do you mind giving a little about yourself to the podcast so they can get to know you a little better?
Yes. So my name is Yadira Herbert, or Herbert en español.
Oh, Latina proud.
Born and raised in Mexico City, CDMX.
Oh,
Um,
her.
I work as an interpreter, English and Spanish, Spanish to English, and I love my job. I do love to travel, and by traveling, I do not mean going to a resort in Cancun or Cabo. I mean traveling, living the real experience, and traveling on a budget.
Her. She's a local girl. Okay, tell us a little bit about that because you do love to travel.
Yes.
And I follow you on Instagram, of
Yes.
course. So all the places that you've been to, first of all, tell me which one has been your favorite.
My favorite. I do love going to Mexico City often. I do go back to my home city.
Hometown,
Yeah,
yeah.
my hometown. Once every 2 months, around once every 2 months. So, and every time I go, I always find something different to do. And I love taking my friends there and actually show them how beautiful the Mexican culture is and how diverse it is. I went to Chiapas and Guatemala, which I really loved. The best food, the best weather. It was kind of rainy, but I loved the nature, the jungle. I went to Palenque, the pyramids there. I also been to Canada, flew to Seattle, and then took a ferry to Victoria, from Victoria to Vancouver. And I've been all over the U.S. as well, but always on a budget. People always ask me, how are you traveling all the time? And I tell them it's always on a budget, and I always make friends everywhere I go. I mean, Airbnb friends or friends who give me discounts on a lot of things. So it's always on a budget, always meeting new people, and that's how I do it. It's not expensive at all if you are open-minded.
So that's the thing. Like when we're talking about a budget, what is a budget?
A budget.
like let's say a range.
Arrange. For example, this trip, it was a week. I took two friends with airplane, Airbnb, activities, and we did had a helicopter, private driver, and everything. It was $1,000 each, and that includes everything except meals and drinks, of course. But other than that, everything: Ubers, the helicopter, the private driver, the Airbnb, the plane ticket, the round trip, the museums. Oh, we had a photo session.
Oh yeah, those pictures were nice. Yeah,
Yes.
Let me tell you, I said, is she a model?
I've been to Cabo as well, Los Cabos. I actually do not stay at a resort. We stayed in Airbnb that it's by a resort, but it's not inside the resort. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath by the beach, nice view for like $120 a night. And actually, the owner is Canadian. We befriended him. He went to pick us up the first time, and now we actually book directly with him without paying like the other fees. Yes, so it's always cheaper to do it that way.
Well, and I guess also you are very open to
Meeting people?
meeting people, and also like not having to stay in a resort. Because I feel like when people think like let's travel, especially to Mexico, like to a beach, they're like, oh, let's go to a resort. But I mean, you're getting basically everything.
Yeah, I mean,
For $1,000, like right now, if you try to book anything anywhere, like it was like 3 years ago. About 2 years ago, we went to Houston for like 3 days, and just the hotel itself was like almost like $600-700. And I'm not saying like a fancy hotel. We were downtown. It was a maybe like 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel. But I mean, for what we got, like it was like one queen bed, like it wasn't definitely not worth it. Like when you compare and you say like for like
$400 more, you could have been in a helicopter.
Yeah, and that was like for like 2 days. Yeah, and that's not accounting like because it's downtown, so then you have to have valet parking and you have to do all this and all that. So yeah, no, that little trip 2-3 days almost added up to the same thing without all the experiences that.
Yeah.
Without the private helicopter.
Right. I mean, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that is, nowadays to travel somewhere, I feel like you have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
Honestly, whenever I go out, I mean, anywhere, I try to go to like, I mean, I don't like to go to expensive places. Like even to eat, like that's doesn't like, I'm like, let me go get some tacos from somewhere, and like that's okay with me.
It's always to have an experience. I went to the restaurant Pujol or Pujol, como le quieran llamar, in Mexico City, which is, I think the number 2 in Mexico and number 12 in the world. It was kind of pricey. It was really good. I really enjoyed the experience, the food. So I mean, here and there, it's always good to like experience some fine dining.
Well, like like you're saying, is like even like ranked globally, so it's like you say, it is an experience. Well, going back a little bit when you were saying, like taking your friends and experience, because I a lot of people do have the misconception of Mexico City or even Mexico as a whole being like super dangerous, like don't even go there, like. Can you tell us a little bit about your experiences with that? With like, and like y'all as girls, because sometimes you just go as girls, like me sending just like my wife or my daughter or just them too. Like I'll be like super like scared, and I'm from there,
Yeah.
Yes, I have taken several of my friends. in separate. um, yes, I'm from Mexico City. I know the city well. I have been there on my own when I was like in college, like my first 2 years in college. All summers I spent it in Mexico City on my own. Like I rented an apartment and I stayed there for like 2-3 months. I know how to use the public transportation, everything. I know the nice, safe areas, and I know the other side of Mexico City. And I'm a city person. I currently live in Dallas, and I know the areas that are dangerous. I know the areas that are safe. I think the same precautions that I take in Dallas, those are the same precautions that I take in Mexico City or anywhere else that I go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out at night, late at night, to a neighborhood that I know that it's not safe. That's just not how I do it. But yeah, I always take my friends and I try to show them how safe, how I show them the nice parts of the city, and also during the day I sometimes take them to the other side just so they can
Yeah.
experience.
Yes.
And just those are skills that I have
Acquired.
acquired through my travels. I remember I took one of my friends, I think maybe like 2-3 years ago, to Mexico City. We were going from La Condesa, which is a nice neighborhood, to the pyramids. We were halfway, and she needed to use the bathroom, and then we stopped at a gas station, but it was like way out
of the way. Yeah.
Yes. And then we stopped, and then she went to the bathroom, and then she was like, "Oh, I forgot, I need to go to the ATM." There was an ATM right there, and then me and the driver immediately were like, "Not here,
Right.
not here." Those are, I will never do that. Not even in like Dallas or Vegas.
Right.
When I go to Vegas, there's always like ATMs everywhere. I go to the ATM at the bank, not
Right,
the not
right,
the
right,
ATMs
right.
that are like hanging around, or in Cabo, in Cancun. Those are just skills that I know. Those are just common knowledge, like safety first. And I told her no, and that's just not Mexico. It's just anywhere.
Anywhere in the world. Yeah.
I wouldn't go into those neighborhoods, use the ATM, and then be flashing my cash.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think like that's the thing. People sometimes don't like realize like it's not just Mexico. It could
Correct.
happen anywhere, unfortunately.
Right.
And I feel like us coming from like Mexico City or from a city, you already grew up
Yes.
knowing like you don't do this, you go this way, don't go here. Like you already kind of do know that.
Right.
Even here in Tyler, like, you know, you're like, I'm not going to go out late at night, or this neighborhood is like not too cute at night. And it's not no shade, it's just how it is.
Yeah, you're just trying to be careful.
And I feel like since people are not prepared for that, that's why they start like talking about, well, it wasn't safe, it wasn't this, but it's like, why did you go to the ATM at the gas station?
Yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, like you were saying, like, sometimes I was talking to one of my friends about something, about some headphones, and I was like, oh, either way, I only just use one all the time. It's like the earbuds.
Right.
And then he was like, why don't you just use both? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm aware of my surroundings.
Right.
If I have like two headphones on, like in a public place, you know?
Right.
Like, so, and yeah, and they don't get it. They're like, well, why don't you just wear both of them?
Right,
You know,
right. Yeah. Or even like I've been in situations where like we are in a, you know, we get a hotel, we're out of town or whatever, and me and my friends get like in an Uber or Lyft, and they're telling we're having a conversation with the Lyft driver, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're staying here, we're leaving tomorrow. And I'm like,
Yeah, like giving all the details.
why are you telling this man that we're still going to be here? And I'm like, one day I literally said, no, we're leaving Monday. And they're like, no, we're leaving. And I was like, no, we're leaving Monday, remember? We're staying. I'm like, don't tell this man. Like, I'm already
just
thinking,
random people.
because he already knows
information.
where we're staying. He already knows what we look like.
Your name.
Yeah. So it's kind of like things like that. They always make fun of me because sometimes, like, if I'm staying at a hotel, like, I put, like, a chair by the door. Because I'm like, I mean, you're going to hear something if somebody tries to break in. But that's just, you know, the Mexico City and me, honey, okay? So, yeah, that is cool that you step out of the box.
Yes, and
when
I
you travel.
take them everywhere. All my friends that go with me to Mexico City, Of course, we always get the private driver, but they also have to get on the metro, the subway. They have to really see how it is, not just the nice parts, but also like the living like a local, like get on the metro, on the bus.
And that's an experience.
Yes.
Like when we went to New York,
Yeah.
getting on the subway. I mean, although I've already been in el metro in Mexico, but like this is like the New York subway. I'm like, is that a rat? Is that a homeless person? Oh my God, it's New York. Like, it's so beautiful.
No, and yeah, like we were there, and we weren't not planning to use the subway in New York. But then like all the, because it was after a concert, and then all the, they spike up the prices on Lyft and all that. So I was like, no, we're not gonna pay $150 because that's about how much it was to drive us back to the hotel.
Yeah.
And like the subway was like $2. I was like, we just got, and it was like 5 of us, so I was like, nothing's gonna happen. And it was awesome. Like we ended up using it the whole time we were there.
Yeah, it was a fun experience. Something I wanted to ask you about.
Yes.
Because I know that you travel a lot and stuff. You are vegetarian, vegan?
Yes, vegetarian, not vegan.
Oh, okay. Vegetarian. So at the fancy places, I mean, you always find something that you can eat, correct?
No. Forget the fancy places. The local places.
Oh, well, that's true.
Because a lot of the fancy places.
Well, for that restaurant, the fine dining, like Pujol, that we went, so they asked for allergies, and I told them I'm vegetarian, not vegan. They actually modified the menu for me. So it was 3 of us. It was 2 regular menus and 1 vegetarian. Everything was delicious. I was able to eat everything. In Mexico, I usually don't have any trouble with vegetarian food. They have more vegetables available. Quesadilla, I mean, I do eat cheese. It could be with flor de calabaza. It could be potatoes. I mean, all kinds. Here in the U.S., sometimes I have more trouble. Usually, some places have veggie enchiladas, and by veggie, I mean veggies inside, and sometimes I just have to ask for cheese enchiladas. But other than that, I usually don't have a problem with
So even
food.
if you go to La Señora en la esquina.
Yeah, they always have. Like, I went to a taqueria, on a street taqueria in Mexico City, and here in the U.S. as well. And it was I just asked for a tortilla with avocado. It's plain and simple. Tortilla, avocado, lime, salsa. That's it.
Because, I mean, I remember since we met, you were trying to transition because you were like, I don't need chicken or something. Like, you will only eat like a certain thing, but now you're like fully
vegetarian.
And what brought that on? Was it something or just?
Did you watch a video?
Yeah,
was
there? Yeah.
Because she be sending me them videos, honey, and I'm like, girl, I'm really eating this chicken right now. Sorry.
I do not like the taste. That's one. Even if I wanted to, I just do not like the taste of meat. The only flavors I can tolerate is like chicken flavor. Like if it's a caldo de pollo, I don't mind picking the chicken out, and that's fine. Or if it's a dish where it has chicken, I'll just pick the chicken out and I'm fine. But beef, pork, fish, I just cannot. I do not like the taste. It's just, if it's all mixed, I just won't eat it.
Yeah.
But no, I never had trouble finding vegetarian options. And one of the other reasons that I'm vegetarian is because I do love animals.
Aww,
If I wouldn't kill my dog or to eat him, I will not kill like a chicken, a pig, or a cow.
Yeah, that's why I don't kill them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that is awesome that, because you're also very into like working out, hiking,
Yes.
and all of that.
I love it. I recently, maybe 2-3 months ago, I climbed the Iztaccíhuatl volcano in Mexico.
Her.
It was amazing. The funny about this. I was overconfident. I do.
Very funny about this.
I do work out. I have done marathons. I'm a long distance runner. Currently doing more boxing. I've been doing boxing for 3 years.
So don't mess with her.
Yeah.
Watch out, Canelo.
Canela's here.
And I do some CrossFit. So
You're pretty active.
I consider
yes.
myself like athletic. So
Yes,
I was
you
overconfident. So it was one American, one Venezuelan. They were both guys, and then I was the only female, and then our tour guide, yeah. So on our way to Ameca, which is the town before getting to the volcanoes, I was just talking. Oh, I do marathons. It's gonna be so easy. It's like 5 a.m., 4 or 5 a.m. And I'm just talking. Oh, this is nothing. I run. I do things. I'm just so athletic. I was just bragging. They were all quiet.
I mean, it was 5 a.m. Yeah, they were still asleep.
We stopped and got a torta de tamal.
Yeah.
You were asking about like food. It was like rajas con queso. I mean, and then a bolillo.
Yeah.
No animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed. And then we got to the start of the climb. And then I'm here with my backpack, my trekking poles, and then we just started going. We were not even 1 kilometer in. I mean, I'm talking maybe 15 minutes. I mean, and I couldn't breathe. I was just like, I just kept asking. I mean, how
much longer?
How much longer?
Are we there yet?
Are we there?
It was so painful, so cold, painful. My whole body was getting swollen. I was in pain. I was at the very back. The guys were so nice. They were always waiting on me. They were always checking on me. I had to ask for breaks. Constantly, every kilometer, I think. And I think the most difficult, it was the breathing. The altitude was so high, I just couldn't breathe. And then carrying the backpack, the tour guide told me, it's like, it happens all the time. It has been cases when I had to like carry some.
Their backpack.
Carry
No,
some.
like
whole
the
somebody.
person.
Oh, wow.
Like the person, not the backpack. The backpack and the person. Yeah, so it was just so difficult. And then the bathroom is wherever you can find bathroom.
Right.
That was
Open range.
Yeah, I felt so hungry. I was eating everything that we had on the backpack. Hungry, thirsty. I have never felt so much hunger in my life.
You were worried about that chicken.
It was just so painful. Definitely, I was just not ready for that. It was just, it feels good once you're at the top,
Right.
but then going down.
Yeah, you still got the other half.
I would have just rolled down the hill.
Yeah, so it was, I was actually in some areas I would just kind of like drag myself because I couldn't like go down.
Down the
So
hill.
the tour guide was like, that is just not safe. There's actually a
Please get up.
that is an area. There is another way that it's longer but easier. And then we all agreed that we should. That was the right choice
Decision.
to make. Yeah,
What about the other guys? Did they
They
were
struggle.
Did they struggle?
They were doing better. They were doing better. Both of them. They were doing better than me. They were tired, but they not like me. No.
Right. But it was like an all day thing, right? I remember you.
Yes. So it was like 4 a.m. and then until like 8, 9.
Good.
All day. Out there.
And what was like the recovery like for that?
Oh
Were
my
were
God!
you like,
So
like
finally,
horse?
when I got back to the hotel, I ordered so much room service, like
You were still hungry?
everything. It was like a veggie burger, with like fries, fruit, bread. I just ordered everything on the menu. Was so hungry. And then for the next 2-3 days, my body was just not sore, but tired. I was
shocked.
tired. Yes. But it was a great experience.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm sweating. over here.
Nice views, great experience, and actually training well, not training, but I'm trying to like go on hikes here locally. I know the altitude is not the same,
Right.
but I'm trying to do it with like my backpack with weight on my backpack. The guy told me that I could like put like water bottles or something on my backpack, so I can
Train the
like,
weight. Yeah.
the weight, yeah. And I'm just trying to train, and maybe next year I'm gonna try to do it again. And if I feel better this time, then my next step will be El Pico de Orizaba, which is the tallest. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do love the challenge. I do love the adventure. Like I was telling Tanya that you told me it should be on the shirt. I was like, because I told some of my friends and they're like, oh, that's so dangerous. You shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always told them, if I do not have fear of death. I mean, if I'm out there, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die living. That's,
Oh, wow.
I know.
Yes.
I was like, you need to get that on a shirt.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like,
because that's what life is. It's just all you
yes.
feel all those emotions pushing your body to the limit, and that was a limit for me. And I'm gonna surpass that limit and set a new limit.
Oh, wow.
limitless. The limit does not exist, Penny.
The limit
I
does
mean,
not
when
exist.
she said that, I felt like inspired because I was
Yeah.
like, that is so true. I mean, sorry guys, spoiler alert, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Yes.
But how amazing is that you are doing all this? Like, there's people that will never see that in their lifetime.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah. And I was kind of gonna ask you. Well, I guess you kind of answered the question, but like, you know, sometimes people don't like lose motivation or like even to go to the gym or keep working out. What motivates you? What keeps you going?
I mean, since always, I mean, despite the challenges or personal struggles, relationships, anything,
No, honey, not the relationship.
one thing I
That will
always
be another episode.
of course. I love myself first above anything, and I love living. Right now, I'm young. I'm 33, but
Young,
mean,
very young.
I mean, I want to experience everything I can now that I'm young and I'm able to enjoy it better. I'm kind of like, I mean, I do work for a living, but also I do not like any like luxury, like spending my money on luxuries. Maybe I save a little, and the other, it's like for all those type of experiences that I do. I do not aspire to have like a mansion or millions. That is just not my goal. My goal is to actually live and experience everything that that it's available for me.
And yeah, yesterday actually, when we were hanging out at the birthday party, I was talking to some of the guys, and we were talking something about Mexico, and I said, I was like, when I went out there, I was like, people live different. They kind of do, and I was like, if you think about it, and I was like, I got to like the realization over there. And I like, here in the United States, we live to work.
Yes.
All day, like your whole mind is like, I gotta make money for this, I gotta make money for that. In Mexico, I felt like a lot of people work to live.
Correct.
So they work to be able, like you said, get those experiences. And of course, like here in the United States, we have this other mindset. They're like, the thing is like you have to have a house or a place to live. You have to have a car, you know. But then then we get carried away, you know what I mean? And then they're like, oh, well, I want the newest truck, or
Correct.
I want the newest iPhone, or I want. And over there, like people, it's very common to be like have multi-generational houses, you know. So then you're able to just take off because you don't have that house payment, you know what I mean? Or you don't have that car payment because you live somewhere where you can just take public transportation everywhere. And there are truly luxuries, but here in the United States, they're kind of like necessities. Like here where we live, you can't. You need a car. There's no other way around it. You know what I mean? And same thing. Like is it like you pay rent or you cough it up and buy a house, and sometimes it's about the same cost. You know what I mean? So you don't really have a way around it. You know?
Yeah.
And it messes up. Then sometimes you can't have those experiences because you have all those other expenses.
Right.
And in Dallas, I live in an area that is maybe a 5 minute walk to my office. I actually walk to the office when weather permits. And to the gym, it's also like 3 4 minute walk. So I'm also walking there. I sometimes people, I mean, when I'm walking to the gym, some people see me and then they're like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" I'm like, "No, it's fine."
Are you homeless?
Here's $1.
It's fine. And then walking to work, I mean, it's fine. It's just that culture here of
Yes.
not walking. It's just I do not mind walking. Of course, if it's super hot, like right now in Texas, is like 105 degrees
Yeah.
outside, which is like 38 Celsius, I believe, Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's super hot, and I mean, I'll have to take my car. But when weather permits, I
Yeah.
do not mind walking. When we go to concerts in either downtown or any other area, I actually live near the train station. We take the train.
Yeah.
It's all about location. The
Yeah,
area
yeah,
where I
yeah.
live, it's the rent. It's a little higher, but it's near everything where I can save money by taking the train.
Everywhere
Yes,
else, yeah.
Yes. And about luxuries, yeah, I have a simple car. I did got it brand new in 2016, but I mean it's in great condition. I do not want a new car payment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the future, of course, I'm gonna buy a house, and it's just gonna be a very simple, maybe 2 bedroom, like small, maybe a condo or a townhome, but something small. I do not want anything like super expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also helps that, I mean, you are married.
Yes.
She is a married woman, honey. So
A year and a half.
oh yeah. It was a lovely wedding. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting
nice
us.
wedding.
It was so funny because at your wedding, I literally brought my whole family.
Yeah, everybody was there.
I was like, these are my nieces and they're dancing, okay? It also helps that your husband also has like a little bit of that mindset.
The same mentality.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. So we both hate shopping. We do not go to the mall maybe once or twice a year.
Right.
We just don't, but we both love going out and experience, like dining, food trucks, travel. We spend our money on experiences.
Right.
We do not spend money on the latest iPhone or the luxury car or having a purse or watch or
Right.
clothes. Like that's just not us. Like, I mean, I can wear the same dress for 3 different events and I think that's perfectly fine.
Right.
But experiences, I mean, some people only take one vacation a year. Like, oh, I went to Cabo for a week and that's it. Or I mean, I can tell you, I went to Cabo 3 times the whole year. Might not be at the resort, but I still had as much fun.
Right.
Right,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, that also helps that he's not, that you guys think the same
Oh
way.
yes, the same. We are, I mean, on a budget.
No, that's smart. 'Cause like I said, things can get out of hand real quick.
Yeah, and we also enjoy our time. Obviously, to do all these things, you need time. And
Right.
if you're working, I don't know, like over 8 hours a day, you will not have time to do anything else.
Right.
And so we both actually have jobs that allow us to have that free
That
time.
freedom, yeah.
Yes, that freedom. And if we wanted a maybe higher lifestyle, then we will have to work more hours.
You have to sacrifice time.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
time for me, time it's more important than anything.
Right. Okay.
So we were talking about how
Time.
is money, and like
Time.
right now off camera we're talking about how, like you say, like when you were little, you don't remember like how much money your dad had, or maybe you could remember like one gift that you really loved or something
Right.
like that, but not it was like. But that's one of the things I heard somewhere. The guy was like, the one thing your kids, he was saying, your job is not gonna remember or is not gonna value all the hours you put in. You know,
No.
one day they're gonna be like, you're at.
Right.
The only people that are really and truly gonna understand the time that you spend at work is your family.
Yes.
You know, because like if you and like you know, and we used to say it too, like, oh, my dad was at work all the time, you know, and sometimes because of necessity, not because he just wanted fancy things. It's just because he was trying to get by for a whole family, you know. And now, as you get older, you value that he gave up that time
Right.
for the family, you know. But if you just start doing it because like you just want to be fancy and stuff like that, that's when it could hurt, you know,
Right.
your kids or your wife.
Well, yeah,
or,
because you will see, like, it's not that we were struggling and my dad was working. It's that my dad wanted to get something,
right.
and he valued that something more than he valued like being
The time with us. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you know, we're not talking bad about parents. We're just
Right.
saying, you know, like sometimes we forget that it's more important. And at work, we are all replaceable.
Yeah, no,
You know,
definitely,
like,
definitely.
The companies, the job, like they're always, if you can't do it, that's okay because somebody else can do it. And sometimes they can do it for cheaper. They can do it a little bit faster than you. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I totally agree. In your case, you want to do things while you're young, while you can.
Yes.
You have your husband that is willing to be
Collect memories, not material things.
another shirt.
shirt.
And, you know, in Mikey's case, you know, with his kids, they're going to value him being there like Saturday mornings. And they're
Right,
going to
right.
remember like, oh my God, we used to watch this. Or we used
Maybe
to
go to the school festival or
Right,
see
right,
them
right,
at-
right, right.
Yes.
Or like yesterday, you know, we were out there. It was hot, you know, but the kids were having so much fun. You know, we stayed there for a long time because Stelita was like having a blast. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you just do those little things that, you know, she's so little. You know, she's 3. She's about to be 4, but like maybe she'll remember. Man, I had so much fun that one time with her little cousin. You know.
Well, no, and her being at those events, she's going to create a relationship with those kids.
Right.
They're going to grow up and they're going to always be like, oh my God, yeah, like our parents used to take her to our birthday parties. And that's like another memory that she's going to
and all that you create those bonds, not only
Right.
with, you know, the kids, but like everybody
The
around
parents,
and creates good memories, like you said.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like we talked about a lot, honey.
lot.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Yeah, we have to have.
Definitely would love for you to come back. This is, you know, our second episode.
Of course.
We wanted to bring somebody that had a lot to say.
A lot to
Right.
say.
That's right. This is
And there's more to say.
And there's more to say.
Yes.
So yeah, stay tuned for part 2 of this. I'm just
Part
kidding.
2.
No, yeah, you will definitely be back. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank
We
you so
really
much for
appreciate-
having me.
Yes. You are literally like our family member. You know my whole family.
Last year you were here for Christmas, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
It was 2
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
It was
2
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
She even got a president in
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So we really appreciate you being here. And we will see you guys next
Thank
next
you.
one.
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram,
Oh.
Yadex16.
Put the plug for the t-shirts.
For the t-shirts. That's right. All right.
Bye.
Thank
See you next time.